It's Ray Give TV.
Ray Give TV.
Let's get right to it.
Actually called Larry Hoover a rat based upon a newspaper article. So this is why he had to go get that court document, and he's praying that it supports the newspaper article. Because if it doesn't, then they're going to look at him crazy.
Yo, 1090, what's the next steps, man? Because I'm going to be honest with you, they're almost, I think people are so emotionally invested in this.
He's going to send somebody in there to get that damn...
Yeah, the thing is, bro, I don't even need to go to Chicago to get that done. You know what I'm saying?
Somebody to get it.
Yeah, money makes all that happen, right? I don't have to just get no random person. I can get somebody that's their field, that's their line of work. But the thing is, you know, as far as all the hate and all the shit, it's like Wack said. What I said was, this would be considered snitching by any code, right? There's no rapper today that can name two people that shot them and they're not going to get called a rat. That's a fact.
Hold on.
No, that's a fact.
Listen,
that's a fact.
Everybody know Wack, my OG. Let me ask you. So Wack,
that's a fact.
So if person A gets shot and he's a street nigga and he said, and the cop said, who shot you? And he said, person B and C shot me.
That's a rat. He's a rat.
It's a rat. Okay, all right. Holy.
Yeah, no. See, if I was to shy away from that 1090, have a field day with me. It's over with. It's over with for Wack at that point. It's like, he's going to look at me like, oh, hey, what you doing? You know what I'm saying? So there's no getting around that, nobody. Now, do I think it's going to affect how the majority look at and see Larry Hoover in the environment we're in today? Absolutely not. If it was 10 out of 10, William, it may go to 8.5 out of 10. But they're still going to get the selective politic vote. But it still it'll be 1090 gonna go down in history because he'll be the one that actually went and found that missing impossible. That piece.
Hold on, Wack. You know this has been brewing for a while, and it's not necessarily a competition, but we just want to know who is the ultimate king of the paperwork. Is it 1090 or Wack 100 and the 100 side?
I will tell you this: 1090.
It appears that might be 1090 because he's coming with some shit.
1090 and 1090 at one time was the most popular because he was the one heard doing it. When we were doing it, we were attacking the East Coast. CEO Reek and myself. So we was doing shit like making this like Ricky read his own paperwork without him knowing it. But you know what? I haven't seen any paperwork he ran that wasn't real. The only one where he's fucking playing with it right now is this. And I think he's confident. And I think he's confident because of the multiple newspaper companies that said the same thing. I believe 1090's thinking if this shit was false, Larry Hoover and his family would have sued these newspapers behind this. I know what he's thinking. I know his psyche. And that is yet to happen. Because I would assume if a newspaper come out as is World Star Hip Hop and LA Media ran some shit on me that was false, I sued them for slander and defamation. I filed lawsuit.
Hey,
right? So
Wack, one thing I do like with you, you respect a formidable opponent. When you beefing with like niggas who ain't shit,
yeah, the minute you don't acknowledge a respectable opponent, the minute nigga you gonna lose.
I vote with that. I could tell when it comes to 1090, you could have just clearly said this guy's a liar, he's a fraud, he don't know what he's talking about.
The minute I do that, right, I know that this whole dive is incomplete. We've been in shallow waters, right? Was I able to show enough in these shallow waters that it may not be? Yes, I have. But there's still another dive that can happen. And until that dive happens and a person comes back up to tell us what was down there, right? I'm not going to tell you what's at the bottom of the ocean. We can't get to the bottom of the ocean. We can only go so far. So I'm not gonna put my name and my credibility on that, especially on somebody that's saying I know a way to get to the bottom of the ocean, to take video and come back up with it to show what is and what isn't down there. I'm not finna bet against it because I don't know what it might say. I know as of now, it's a newspaper article. A newspaper article is not sufficient enough to be credible to call a man a rat based upon what's written. I have the shooter that is saying that man did not rattle him. So based on those two things, as of now, I'm resting my case to say Larry Hoover didn't kill. Now, is there another approach? Is there other documents? Is there other things out there that could debunk that? It's possible because there's court documents and nobody has yet to get them yet.
Hey, 1090.
I pulled it up. You can go get them. 1090.
I'll give you the floor. As I said, because I seen people a lot of people hit me with stuff that they said, yo, 1090 a man's right. He's done. They're cooking him. Everybody's turned on him. He's presented fake shit. There's been a shooter who talked. What is your answer to everything now that we got Wack on here? Wack he's keeping it real. He's like, yo, listen, I presented what I know. I've stood on what I know, but I've never said that it can't be whatever. I go by the work. The work. What do you think?
Well, like how you asked him about who he feels is the top exposer, right? I think Wack's been doing this longer than me, so I'm gonna give him credit for that. And it's also like you said, when you got a formidable opponent, right? You gotta respect them because why would you beef with anyone less than? So I kind of like the fact that me and him have two different perspectives on this. As far as people saying it's fake, there's nothing fake about it. They just don't know how to look for it, or they choose not to. They don't like it. That's what they should be saying. They shouldn't be saying it's fake. They should be saying, I don't like this. Well, the way to correct that, if you don't like it, or if you assume it's fake, is to do your homework. But there's a lot of people that look for the truth with their eyes closed. And what I mean by that is they don't want to see what's on the other side of this shit. So as far as everything I've produced, nothing I've produced is fake. This came from the Chicago Tribune, which is the biggest newspaper in Chicago, which is still active to this day. It's just a matter of confirming everything and diving deeper, like Wack said.
And I gotta keep it real. You're right, because I haven't sent my team out to get it because I really don't want to see what's on the other side of it.
Why not?
And
why you don't want to see it?
It's kind of like people enjoy the myth more than the truth, right? People enjoy the facade more.
I don't even think it's a facade. Like, for everything I heard, they said Larry Hoover.
I'm just gonna say it. I'm gonna say it.
You're not gonna say it, Wack.
If I didn't listen, there's a document out there that challenges the credibility of the shooter. And because I've read what I've read, and I know he probably has it, I know it's a strong possibility that paperwork may come back a little different.
Wow. Chat, give me 2 seconds.
Now, I don't know the paperwork I have that challenges the credibility of the shooter is from many years later, 78, 88, like 24 years later, right? But there's paperwork that, right now, 1090 could challenge the credibility of the shooter. He knows if he challenges the credibility of the shooter, I'm simply going to respond to where, well, that still doesn't prove that he's lying. He could, it can't be. That's the shooter. I get what you're saying, but that still doesn't make the newspaper article, right, the end-all, be-all of the documents we need to see.
Hey.
So if I don't, but I know
not to cut nobody off, but
can be challenged.
Not to cut nobody off, but 1090. Could we get like a time for? It seems like you're gonna respond, and Wack is Wack playing chess. He says he feels he know what you can respond with. He's doing his thing, but Wack is a chess player. When could we see the 1090 Jake response? You don't got to give us an exact date Are we talking about a week? Are you gonna take a month? Are you still waiting for shit? Is it TBA? It's all good. When will we hear a proper response from 1090 Jake? You're somebody in this hip hop community at this point. You know, we have the Wack 100s of the world. We know what he does. You have the Me's, you have the Vlads, you have the Adam 22s, you have the Art of Dialogues and all these other people. But you serve a particular role. When will you answer to any doubts about you or whatever officially? Not now here, but answer to it. When will you put that proper retort? Could we get a date, or are you like, listen, it's coming?
I mean, I want to wait until the GDs get all that air out of their chest. When they done doing all that shit, then we're gonna play. But Wack ain't the only one playing chess, and he knows that. So
wait. You don't think the GDs might try to beat you up?
Huh?
You know the GDs is in the door. They might try to beat you up.
He ain't worried about that shit. If he's worried about that,
I'm not even gonna entertain that. But I'm gonna let them get it all out, and then when they ain't got no air left, then that's when that.
When you entered the realm that Hop entered 1090 in Akademiks, even you yourself entered, and you was in a dangerous place some time ago when you was kind of the king of the Chicago shit.
Hey, Wack, wait. I gotta correct you. I'm always in a dangerous place.
Okay,
the thing is,
so
here's the thing. And this is why all three of us. Wait.
We wouldn't run the shit we run.
Wait. Approaching certain subjects that we know nobody else want to approach. We know that other people are gonna be super mad about, but we know, hey, listen, we gonna make sure we do what we gotta do to make sure we're good, but we're gonna still give the content. Wack, I know you do that. I do that. And that's why I was looking at 1090 Jake, because I was like, this could be the perfect situation to fold on and to say, my bad, y'all. There's too much people supporting this. I'm not going to touch it. Instead, he's saying, hey, with all due respect, I'm not disrespecting nobody, but my platform stands for the truth. So if I speak, I'm not trying to do nothing to you, but I am speaking for the truth, and I've realized that hits hard.
Shout out to everybody tuning in, man. Content going crazy right now, you feel me? Be sure to like the video. Go ahead and share the video. Be sure to tell a friend and tell a friend. We got content. And to everybody out there working hard on the grind, if you believe it, you'll achieve it. Do what you gotta do today to be prepared for tomorrow. And there we go. But until next time, it's your boy Ray giving them go. God bless.